where we're rolling the dough, simmering slow, stirring it up with a cup of love. Where there's sugar and spice, there's an apple pie in Sammy's cottage kitchen.
Hi, and welcome to Sammy's Cottage Kitchen. Today, I'm going to show you what to do with leftovers. We all need leftovers. We need to do things with leftovers. Like sometimes we sit there and go, I just got to warm up potatoes, got to do this, got to do that. But you can do magic with leftovers. I got to get a few things out of the fridge. I don't even know exactly what I'm making, but I had a dinner party last night, had family here, and I've got leftovers. So I made linguine and I had a chicken sauce. So I think I'm going to make a chicken pot pie. That's what I'm going to do. Got to grab some things out of here. Let me see. I already took a few things out. I've got the onions out. I've got to add some vegetables to it. I'm also going to take this leftover vermicelli that I had in the fridge. I've also got some leftover ham and sausage. And my wheels are turning about that already too. That's going to be a special spinach pie. Oh, on that note, I've got spinach in here somewhere. I'm gonna get the spinach out of here, I'm sure. We're gonna start with the chicken pot pie. I've got these wonderful dishes that I got when we were in Chile. It was a gift, earth bowls. And that's where I'm gonna put the sauce into. You're gonna see what I do. This was the leftover chicken sauce. And I'm just going to put that into the bowls. I'm going to cook up a little bit of vegetables to add to it. Don't need a lot. See, it's healthy servings. But I don't want them to be real warm or anything, so I had warmed it up a little bit ahead of time. I'm going to set this to the side. Look at the size of this carrot. I got carrots growing out of my garden that is amazing. So I'm going to peel this carrot. It's not tedious work because it's a huge carrot. I won't even need the whole thing. And I'm just going to cut them into fine cubes because you want the dish to be refined. You know, if you're getting guests, sometimes they come by surprise and you think, oh my gosh, I got nothing. But everybody has leftovers of some sort on the average. So I'm going to cut it in half. Ooh, that was a job. And then I'm going to cut it in strips so that I'm just going to need a half a carrot really. And then cut it again. I always tell people to watch their fingers, and I can't stress it enough. So I'm going to cut them into little strips like this. Music you're hearing playing is my CD, Life's Kaleidoscope. It's going to be our background music for the whole cooking show today, simply because I got 3 concerts coming up to promote the album, and it's what I do all the time when I'm cooking. I listen to the music. It's how I learn my stuff, how I think about how I'm going to run the show. Now I'm just going to cut it really fine cubes like this. Good practice for your knife skills. Nice little cubes. And that's all I'll need. I've also got a little bit of rutabaga here, or as a lot of people call it, turnip. And I peeled that up because I was using that the other day. Again, leftovers in the fridge. Throw the carrots in here. They're gonna have to cook up, maybe 10 minutes. And I'm gonna throw the rutabagas together with it, again in beautiful little cubes. Cluttering my space already. I'm a champion of doing that. the candles and pour some wine. This is a good song about you can be as busy as you want to be in life, but better take a little time for each other or for friends. But the song mostly is about a couple who gets wrapped up in their life, children, careers, whatever it all takes, and then they forget a little bit about each other. I'm going to turn that on full blast because I want it to cook. I've got some potatoes cooking here too because I'm going to do a timbalo. It's actually an Italian dish. Timbalo verde. I said something in Italian. And it's going to be like a potato pie because I have the leftover spinach, I have the leftover everything else, and I just threw a few potatoes on because, well, that's a very quick and easy thing to do. And I'm going to be draining those off now because I need to whip them up. That's hot, so it's good to have pot holders. Should always have those handy anyway. Right back to what really matters tonight. They were almost dry cooked, which is what I like. Now they could have been cooked a little more, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to smoosh them up with spinach. I'm just going to clean up behind myself here and do a couple other things I got to go with it. It's kind of fun creating things from leftovers. Nice dishes. I'm going to preheat the oven. 350. Now it's puff pastry, so I would say we need to have 425. You turn it down after. So I'm waiting for the vegetables to boil, and then I'm going to dice up. I'm going to put away my mess from the carrots into the composter and put the carrot to the side. Get my trusty cutting board. This is the apple side. This one here is the onion side. A little more paper towel. The good thing about the paper towel is it goes into the composter too, by the way. The song that you're hearing in the background now is about hard-working women. And I guess that's everybody in the community. I watch all the farm ladies, how hard they work, and I'm no stranger to that. I'm still no stranger to that. People often say to me when I tell them I'm doing all the cooking shows and doing all this cooking and stuff, my gosh, you work so hard. And I kind of laugh because I think, laughing, I'm not working hard, I'm playing. I'm going to dice up a little bit of onion because while I'm waiting for the vegetables to boil for making the chicken pot pie, I'm getting ready to make the timbalo verde. I like saying that. I've got to put a lid on here and turn it down. And they danced, and they danced. I turned that down a bit. So you might notice I use a lot of onion. Onion's very good for you. It's an antioxidant. So is garlic. And it gives amazing flavor and texture. I'm doing up just one onion. I'm going to preheat this pan on the stove. Still have a little bit of this purified butter that I want to use for this. I don't even cry anymore when I do onions. I'm so used to it. Now I'm going to put a little bit of butter in the pan. Always a little bit of oil first. Not much. And I don't have to caramelize the onions, I just have to sweat them. And like most true Italian dishes, you're gonna need some garlic, right? At least that's how I feel about it. I like using this one. That's the wonderful one from my garden. So I'm basically pre-doing almost everything. It's a little bit of water in that pan, that's all. No, it's under the pan. I'm gonna have fun cleaning the stove when I'm done. Now I just gotta quickly do up this garlic. They're hard to peel, the real garlic. When you get it from the garden, they're really a solid garlic. I like it. Changing shoes, why does everybody keep changing shoes? The concerts we're going to be doing here pretty soon at a theater in Esterhazy, and also one, it's a house concert out by Margaret and Martin's. It used to be the Church Cafe, which is going to be awesome fun. And a Christmas gala at the theater in Langenberg. Changing shoes. Why does everybody keep changing shoes? And we've been lucky to put together some really awesome musicians. Right from right here. Next door is Adam Keogh. He does all the percussion. My husband, Jack Hollenberg, on the guitar. I just boss everybody around and sing and write the songs. And on bass, doesn't need much, see? I'm just sauteing it up, taking it off the heat, because I don't want the garlic to burn. On bass, we've got Charlotte Nedley. And on another lead guitar, we have Nathan Lay. And we have Adam Lay. Adam Lay is my nephew, but he's also cousins to Nathan Lay. And Adam plays rhythm. Adam Lay. We've got Adam Keogh, Adam Lay. Yeah, no wonder I'm twisting my tongue around. Okay, now I can put it back on the heat. Now I've got my mix master out here because I'm going to be whipping up the potato mixture with the spinach. Now I've got some basil in here and some spinach. And I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to that because it needs to have that. Where's my olive oil? Oh, way over here. I can take this off the heat. That's just going to get added to the mixture. Fresh basil added into the mixture. There's some pine nuts in there. And a little bit of Parmesan cheese, too. This magic little blender does a good job. Shake it up a little bit. That's just for adding flavor. I've already got cooked spinach, that was my leftovers, in the fridge. I'm going to go back into the fridge for a minute and put away a few of these vegetables. Aha! I found the infamous spinach. It was hiding on me. So it's already cooked. And I'm going to take what I blended up in this blender, mix it together with the spinach. I added a little extra raw spinach to that as well, but the smell is beautiful. Let me shut off the fan now too. Now, the potatoes are ready to go. They're cooked. I'm going to plug my mix masta in, just a little one. You don't need a big one. Now I know what it's like to get the blues. It's going to be very green. but green is good. Green is healthy. Right. I think the one thing I wanted to get out of the fridge and I did not was some cream. Need a few tablespoons of cream to add. My fridge is getting too full. I need company to come and help me eat all these leftovers. So now it's simply like this. You pour in about 4 tablespoons of cream. Gonna mix in this whole mixture of spinach, and basically I made a homemade pesto when I did that blend, except for adding pine nuts. That's what it would be. Now I'm gonna just put this in here and whip away. And then you have to add eggs to this yet, because that's gonna hold it together beautifully. See what it's looking like? Put the cream back in the fridge because you don't want to leave that sit out. And grab some eggs. In and out, in and out, in and out. And I'm going to want to turn those right down, the vegetables. And I have to add this little bit of garlic and onions to this mixture too. All about the flavor. Basically, I call it timbalo verde because it sounds great. Do you know what it is? Spinach pie, spinach potato pie. In layman's terms. On my tongue, but not the waking up and the wandering. So 2 small eggs. They are small eggs too because it's pullet eggs, new eggs from the farm. There's one of my country songs on the album. It's called The Whiskey or the Wine. No, it's not a drinking song. It's a song about not drinking anymore. It's goopy. So, now I'm going to take this pan here, just put a little bit of oil in it because you don't really want it to stick, but you also want it to get nice and crusty on the bottom, right? Come back here. I'm going to add a little bit of cheese, not much, Parmesan. I don't know, 1/4 cup. And you just fold that in. It's pretty simple, really. My vegetables should just about be ready for the chicken pot pie too, so I can put both of these things in the oven at the same time, and that's kind of cool. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to add a little bit of meat in there because my husband's a meat eater type person, as a lot of fellas are. And I found also more leftovers like this. So why not put it in there? So now you got a little bit of ham, sausage, spinach, and potatoes. And you know what's great about that? It's a full meal. There we go. Chop it up nice. I'm just going to fold it in as well. Harmony singer on the song is Erin Fleury, right here from Langenburg as well. Her dad's a heck of a good singer too, Butch Fleury. He was here in our studio recording as well. Awesome. There. Look at the nice mixture we got going on here. The flavors are going to be great. Nice. And you want to top it right to the top like that. It's beautiful. In the oven with it. Voila. Now I'm going to put a little bit of cheese on the top, because it's going to give it a nice crust as well. Doesn't it look delicious? So it's actually a very Italian dish. But I've messed with it a little bit to make it Canadian, as we seem to do. So I'm going to pop it in the oven, because the oven is ready to go. And I believe the vegetables are ready to go too. So I'm going to time this for 30 minutes. And what am I going to put? I think I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave the temperature high too. I'll turn it down after a bit. I got the vegetables now. So you see, without a lot of work, you can really make your leftovers into something. Just vegetables. You'll see I left some room in the dishes because I knew I was putting vegetable in there. There's already asparagus in because it's from the chicken sauce that I had already prepared, and I had made it with onions and garlic and asparagus and everything. But I think I'd like to add a little bit of butter, because everything's a little bit better with butter, right? Just to the vegetables to give it that flavor. And a little bit of pepper. I think just a teaspoon. Some pepper. And while I'm just putting that together, that's my oven telling me it's ready. For once, I was ready before it was. Wow. This is going to make it pretty too, because we're going to have green and yellow and orange for colors in there. The song you're listening to right now is the title cut of my album. I can talk to you and listen at the same time. Kind of what happens. It's an affliction of us musicians. There, I'll just mix it in a little. You can't fix it. The song is about life in general, how it's not always kind, but you live it the best way you can live it. And you can do nothing wrong by doing that. Because we all have things that don't go quite the way we want it to go. But you got to count all the ones that do. Okay, I'm going to set these to the side for a minute over here because I need to work with some puff pastry. Oh yeah, I like putting just a touch of cheese on there too. It's a flavor thing. And you'll see too that I'm making the puff pastry so that it breathes. See, so I put a little bit of cheese on there. Yeah, actually, I think I'll just sit it here because it's easier for me to get at. Now, I didn't make my own puff pastry because that just would have been too time consuming, and I had to start yesterday with it, I guess. Again, you can get puff pastry in most of your stores. I'm going to just dust the board a little because it needs to be ironed out a bit. Now, some people, when they're making the puff pastry top, do a complete top, but it doesn't know where to breathe. So that's not what I'm going to suggest. We're going to do strips. And you want to be careful not to break it because there's butter in these. So you want to just iron it out in one direction like that. You're going to see what I'm doing. I need enough. It needs to be ironed out enough, but not too thin. cutting it into strips. See what we could see. It was my sister Cindy, who was home yesterday while we had our family dinner party. All the way from upstate New York, Schenectady. And this song kind of stems from New York. That's why I'm talking about it. Pretty funny. We went to visit her, and it was my experience. Hey, I heard the Yankees won last night too. Anybody into sports? But yeah, we actually did get to go to the old Yankee Stadium and watch a Yankees game. It was pretty cool. Good nap will get you to Broadway. Find a train or a bus. Okay, now you're going to lay the strips on top, whichever way you can make them fit. And when they're a little bit big like this, you just break it off. Make it fit. It doesn't. You got to kind of pinch it to the edge of the bowl. Figured out that subway up to the train. And did it over again till we found our way. Avenue, Manhattan, and Broadway. Oh, we nibbled our way around that Big Apple. But a good nap will get you to Broadway. Find a train or a bus. There's one. The apple took a chunk out of us. Big apple, she took a chunk of change out of us. That's true, we had to bring money. After we saw the Yankees win, we went to a Broadway show, which was just awesome. It was my sisters, all my sisters and me. It was so fun. And it was called Them Damn Yankees. It was so funny, and especially after us seeing the ball game. And my dad was an ump for 40 years. So, yeah, we could relate to a lot of stuff. And he umped everywhere. I think sometimes he raised us like that too. 3 strikes and you're out. I don't think we got many balls. Now, luckily, this doesn't take that long to cook either. Now, you got some leftovers here, which is kind of fun, because you can twist them up and just put them on top. If you've got a little cutter and you've got the time or anything, you can make really fancy decorations. I gotta grab an egg out of the fridge. One more egg. It's a good thing I've got an egg supplier. Oh, there are a lot of eggs. Because I need to make an egg wash. Very important, or else it's going to look boring. You need to have a nice crusty feeling for it. And I need to have a pastry brush. I'm going to decorate this one too, before I forget what I'm doing. Why not? I don't know, just do something with it. Twist it. And you can use a little bit of cream in it, but you can also just put some water, cold water. This puffs up beautifully. This song is the bluesier side, my Motown influence. Okay, and you just brush it. You paint it. As my granddaughter always says, Desiree, she goes, now we get to paint the pastry. She is her mom's daughter because her mother's a great artist. She also made this beautiful fan for us. And well, she's artistic just like Mom. A little bit like Grandma. I'm proud of that. At least my claim, that's my claim. know it the first time. This cooks also within a half an hour easily, 25 minutes. I'm going to sprinkle it with a little bit of Parmesan like that. Look at how you decorated up something that was just leftovers in your fridge. Into the oven. The pie is just cooking away in there. The Timbalo Verde. And I've got it for time for 20 minutes for the pie, so I just have to tag on 10 minutes for that. Now I'm just going to clean up after myself and put away the rest of the puff pastry because I'll keep that for another day. Because there's always leftovers that you can use. I've got some cellophane down here. I'm going to grab it because it'll dry out really fast if you don't wrap that up in that. I'm just going to clean up after myself a little bit here. Put away a few things that need to be in the fridge. Like cheese, like eggs. Well, I need the eggs. I'm going to keep the eggs out and the butter. Got to put this in the fridge. I'll tell you, close proximity here. Bet you thought I had other eggs here, but it was empty. I'm going to leave this handy. Don't think I need this anymore, so it's going back. And this little bit of puff pastry I'm going to just toss. Then I have to think about what else have I got in my fridge that I can make. What else was left over? Well, I've got some lettuce in the fridge. I've got olives. I've got some roasted red peppers that I use for appetizers. And I'm thinking I might be able to make a nice salad out of that, and I think I probably will. But first I'll clean this mess up a little bit so that I can operate. Without a doubt, but then you smile and wink at me. Another country song. And it's about when couples are together a long time and start taking each other for granted, or at least you think so, and then one of you just kind of surprises the other one. It's kind of fun. Okay, here we are, back at the leftovers. Okay, I gotta look in the fridge again, and I did. And I got my island all twisted around because I was looking for things. I found that I have a lot of leftover salad. I have leftover olives. I have leftover roasted peppers. And I got thinking, what a nice salad. What a nice salad I could create. My potato pie is almost done, which is perfect because I'm gonna take it out so it can rest because it needs to sit before you cut into it. So I'm just gonna grab that out of the oven for a minute. Ooh, it's looking good. Look at that. See, now that was leftovers. I just added potatoes to the leftovers and a few flavorings. And my puff pastry is doing great on the chicken pot pies, but it needs more. It needs at least 10 to 15 minutes yet, so I'm gonna let that go. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get creating this salad. This was leftover. And in the salad, I don't know, there's everything from, sunflower seeds and cucumbers, and it's a wonderful toss salad with spinach and field greens. And I'm going to add a few things to it, and I'm going to put it on a plate as well. Because, you see, I've got roasted peppers here. They're ready to go already, and I did the tricolor. But I'm going to add a little bit of red pepper to it because I think it'll be prettier. I'm also going to do something with some leftover pasta. And these fruit, I think that'll be just a crowning glory that I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in a different container. Got to rinse them off a little bit. I like this song. It's a song about us, and it is us. I have olives. I'm going to start with this because there's really nice dressing that I made, a marinade on here that I'm going to use for the salad. So I've got to warm it up just a hair because olive oil gets solid. So I'm just going to give it a 10-second blast. almost more than 10. Because you don't want to cook the olives, you just need it to be warmed up. And the olives will be a nice side on the salad. It'll be a very elite salad. When I kissed you for the first time. When you put olive oil in the fridge, it gets solid. So now I'm just going to pick these gigantic olives that I made yesterday. They're stuffed with blue cheese. They're called colossal. There you were to catch me there with open arms. You see these funky looking tomatoes? My sister grew those. And they were in her garden and she brought them. So it makes a very pretty little thing. Now I've got all this wonderful dressing. Just got to whisk it up a little bit. And I'm going to add just a little bit of balsamic to it. I've got a fig balsamic that I like to use. Dribble it in. Just adding, because in this is already some herbs. Herbs de Provence, there's garlic. This is a mushroom. It's called Excepto balsamico. Again, that's Italian. Well, you see, this is sort of Italian what I'm making today, except for the chicken pot pie, because it's leftover Italian food. I need to find my whisk over here. Whisk that in. I'm just gonna put the greens over here because I'm gonna be putting those on the plate. You might notice here what I've got too is some wonderful little, it's a great little cast pan. I put this in the oven right now, and it's little bits of a baked Parmesan, which I made earlier, and I had that yesterday too. But I want to toast them up a little, make them nice and crisp. Now, I put that in, and I'm going to add just a touch of olive oil. Because what's going on here, it ain't right. And all this is the marinade from the olives that's going to go on top of the salad. Whisk it so you can, if I add a little more of this, it's like a crema, it binds. It kind of infuses together and you don't get so much oil on top. See, when you do a whisk it in, it gets more solidified. Otherwise, the olive oil will just float. See how nice that gets? See, when I put it in here, I wanted it this way because I just wanted the olives to sit nicely on the plate. Now I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil, because it needs it, to my roasted peppers. And you see I have more roasted peppers. How you roast the peppers is you put them on the barbecue, high heat, watch them, or else you're going to have really crisp ones. I've done this before, but I want to take the peel off. I should grab actually paper towel for that. It's a bit messy. Hey, cooking is messy, I know. I seem to dirty all the dishes. So I just want to show you how to do this because that's how I made the roasted peppers. So I'm just going to wipe my fingers and put the peels onto the paper towel. And then you're going to tear it open like this to get the seeds out. I thought I had more red pepper in there. It looks like everybody left the green behind. That's funny. But never mind. Well, what really matters tonight? When we turn out the lights, we light. I must be in a romantic mood because it's the second time I wanted to hear this song. It's a romantic song. I have romance in me. If you're artistic, you best have a little art. Look at that, that lid doesn't even fit. Washing hands is good at that moment. And then just take away this mess. See how simple it is? And again, I'd like to use my composter. I try to throw a lot of things into the compost. Now I just take, I'm gonna peek on my chicken pot pies. Oh, they're smoking up real good. Spilling over a little, but that's okay. Actually, I should turn the oven to a little lower. 350. As you can see, it was ready to go. So now all I do is I cut these peppers into strips. Hard working hands. Just keep them fingers away and put that blade to your knuckle. So I'm just going to be serving this with the salad. You'll see. It's going to be a beautifully decadent salad. There's fruit, there's roasted peppers. There's a beautiful drizzle of that dressing that I made, which was, first of all, a marinade for the olives. The olives on the side. You know, there's a real art in making a nice salad. So I'm just adding it to my other peppers. Then I'm going to have, I have yellow, I call it tricolor roasted pepper. There, I just gave myself a new name for my salad dressing. Of a hard-working woman in a hard-working man. Need a fork? I just add a little bit of cracked pepper to that, because what I did was when I roasted the peppers, you sweat them. You put them in a pot and you let them sweat so that the skins then will come off. You just put them in a pot and put the lid on. And then when they're cooled off, that's when you can cut them up. See now how nice that looks? Now I'm just going to add a little bit more olive oil. Olive oil is really good for you. Like I said, don't cook it. A little bit of pepper. Don't cook with it unless you get a particular one. Okay, I'm just setting this over here because I'm getting ready to present and put the salad together with the pine nuts that I had roasted and the dressing. Now I'm going to do something else. I have got pasta from last night. I made some angel hair pesto pasta. Wow, that's a mouthful. And I'm going to put a little bit of, I'm preheating this little pan here. And I'm going to put a little bit of avocado oil in there, and I've got just enough of the butter, the purified butter that I made. I also made homemade butter. I found a little butter churn, but on another show I'm going to show you how I do that one. I'm going to put a little in this pan and a little in this pan, because I'm going to cook a couple eggs in this pan, and I'm going to crisp up the pasta in this pan. It's delicious because the flavors are all in there already. And you'll see it's got pesto in it, and it's got pine nuts, so it's already beautifully flavored. I think I should make the pan heat a little more. Ah, it's getting there. So in we go. Good thing I washed my hands, huh? Like a nickel digger. This will be enough for a couple people if you want to do this. And there'll be my timer to check the chicken pot pies. Almost there. But what is finished are my little crispy cheese bits. Great little cast pans. I love it. And now I'm just going to turn the back burner on here because it's a small burner for a small pan. Maybe I should wash those hands. Went out to talk to the man in the moon. This is our funny song. It's about people changing shoes, changing partners. In case you hadn't caught on to that. Okay, so now that just has to, I have to get a flipper for that, because I got it on full blast because I want it to crisp up on the bottom. But I first have to flip it. I don't want it to be that high. I want it to be warmed all the way through, right? And add a little bit of pepper to that one too. Usually you can let people add their own as much as you can. This is a funny lid. It's very old, but when I got the new pan, I saved this old lid, and look at this. Perfect. Now this one's heating up beautifully. I'm going to throw a couple eggs in there. Now you don't necessarily have to eat all this on the same day. I'm just showing you what you can all do with leftovers. kind of hoping that the neighbors come over to eat tonight because I'm going to have way too much refixed leftovers. So I got to leave that sit for a minute. And I'm going to put a cloth down here because I'm going to take the chicken pot pies out to put them here pretty soon. Changing shoes, changing shoes. Why does everybody keep changing shoes? See? New shoes. And I'm going to put 2 of these in here. Can you believe it? I broke that one. Hard shell. And that doesn't matter. In fact, I might break both eggs because I think it'll turn out nicer to have the broken eggs on top of the, kind of like a scrambled egg, but they call them a quick break. A little bit of pepper. And then I'm going to turn that one right down. And I'm going to shut the oven off because the pot pies are ready too. And I need to look for a little bit of a lid to put on the eggs. This is funny, these are silicone lids. Pretty funky. It's a sunflower. And if you don't have a lid that fits your pan, that's what you use. So I'm going to put it on really low. And I'm going to turn this down. There's something burning on that burner, so I'm going to have to turn that on. And I have to check what I've got going on. Yes, it's crisping beautifully. So I'll leave the lid on. Leave it on there on a low heat. It's my brother Sid's favorite way of having the pasta. I'm going to show you how we plate the salad. Before I'm letting I shut the oven off for the pot pies, just simply because they need to rest a little bit before they come out. Now, you just make a nice little pile of salad on your plate. Not too much. That would be my husband saying, not too much. Doesn't want so much green. But you want it to have a height. So you're going to do this. You're going to pile it and pile it and pile it. There's a few seeds here I want to put on the top. Make it top it, make it centered. And serving it on a big plate is a nice idea. Now I'm going to move them over here because we're going to finish the dressing on this side. The eggs will be finished. Yeah, because I want the eggs quite well done for this particular dish because everything's got to be a little crispy. But it's not, it's just beautiful. I purposely punctured them so that they don't run all over the place. Now I'm going to drizzle a little bit of this dressing on here, and everything else goes on the top. It's a nice, intense balsamic with all the infused flavors of garlic and herbs and everything in it. I know that's what I'm having. Watch this. Crispy, beautifully crispy. But there's ways that we're going to decorate that up. I'm going to knead it up on the plate like this. Then you're going to put the egg on top of it like this. Beautiful. I have cheese somewhere. Have I hidden the cheese? Parmesan cheese. Got to get in the fridge. I very diligently put things away. I used to like whiskey. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on there. Knead it up a tad. You don't want to have a mess. This can be breakfast. Why not? It can be a meal, it can be breakfast. And now if you want to make it taste a little better, you're going to put a little bit of this salsa on top. And you're gonna add just a hair. And everybody can, share this dish. So I'm just gonna set that over here. That one's ready to go. And now I'm going to grab the chicken pot pies out of the oven. I need to put a towel under them because it's too hot. And I'll finish up the salads in a minute. Oh yeah. Woohoo! Look at that. Well, that's how you fancy up some leftovers. This one's dripping over the edges. See, I even had too much in there, not realizing it. I gotta set them here for the moment because they're too hot to put on a plate. But you're gonna serve them on a plate. I'm gonna lay these all out in a minute and you're gonna see just how beautiful this all looks. I'm gonna put the dressing to the side. I'm gonna move my island a little bit because I'm gonna wanna lay this all out over here. I'm gonna need a couple more plates because when you're putting the chicken pot pie out too, you wanna put it on a plate. Luckily, these plates are microwave safe. Now we'll cut into the timbalo as well to show you. So now I'm going to put the salad further this way because I need to finally decorate a few of those things. Here's your pot pies. And what I like putting on top of there are these toasted little Parmesan Crispies. Drunk on your kiss. Oh yeah, that's another risk. Now, these Crispies can be used for different things. So I'm going to think about this for a minute. I'm going to finish the salad. I really like adding some of these wonderful marinated roasted peppers. It makes this salad uniquely amazing. You're also going to want a few crisps. Like I said, we're just using up leftovers. It's a fantastic way of using up leftovers. Look what we created so far. I pre-grated the Parmesan cheese, so a little bit on there, not too much. Parmigiano for sure. And now I'm going to want to cut into that pie. See what we've created there. A kaleidoscope. In the back of my mind, I'm also doing all these songs. So this pie looks amazing. I gotta shut off the fan, we don't need it anymore. It would be nice to actually put one of the olives or something on here too. So I think that's maybe an idea. Look, a crowning glory. And then just leave these for anybody to nibble on that they might want with the salad. Ooh, you know what I didn't put on there yet? The fruit. Don't need pot holders for the fruit. So you get a combination of these. When peppers are roasted, they're absolutely sweet. Always put 3 when you're putting fruit or decorating with it like that. There you go. And as I'm puttering around here, finishing things up, like I said, you're listening to Life's Kaleidoscope, the album. I've got some pine nuts, toasted pine nuts. This looks so good. And you're just gonna put a couple on there because these things are like gold. And I think I'd like to have a couple crisps on the salad. See, there's a lot of time left over when you're making leftover things. You don't even have to sweat or fuss. So these tiny little garnish things on the side are going to remain garnished. just tying things up for you. Now I'm going to try cutting into the potato pie. And you just serve it simply. It's a whole meal in one, you know, you just serve it simply, the way it is. The same way as you hoped. So are you ready to go and, you know, work with your leftovers? Hey, Gesundheit. Look at this. It looks great. It smells awesome. Now just for a little garnish, I'm going to put a little bit of peppers on the side. Just like I said, we're using up leftovers. I want to thank all of you for coming here and watching me fool around with leftovers to make something out of all of this. How pretty. Oh, I forgot something. With all this food, we got to spice it up just a hair. This is my big pepper mill. And yes, it really does work. Little pepper on there, little pepper on there, little pepper on there. Looks like a lot of pepper. Pepper, pepper everywhere. I want to thank everybody for coming, hanging out with me. I have so much fun in Sammy's Cottage Kitchen. And I was rehearsing with my album while I was cooking for you, because as long as I've been doing music and doing cooking, I have been doing them both. Drove my mother crazy. And on that note, I would like to say, you know, I think it was my mom who taught me mostly how to cook with leftovers. She had a family of 10. Well, don't you think she would have had to, you know, maybe learn what to do with leftovers? It's what she did. And it's what I learned first, because we would cook a big roast one day, and the next day we'd have to, you know, make something out of it. So I want to thank you. And while I tune out and say goodbye, I'd like you to listen to that song that I wrote for my mom. It's called Mama Go Get Your Wings. And that was her send-off when she passed. And I want to thank her for teaching me everything I know about the cooking. I want you to remember, you got one life to live, live it, and enjoy every day, and just keep on keeping on. And watch me on Access TV on Sammy's Cottage Kitchen at 7 o'clock on Monday evenings. We'll be there every week. Yeah, just can't get rid of me.